Bonjour and welcome to a beautiful morning here in Brittany and to today's workout, which is Pilates for longevity. So today's workout is about keeping us injury free and our joints as healthy and in as perfect alignment as we can get them for as long as possible. So as we age, we all know that our bone density gets less and we need the muscles around the joints to support them. So today's workout is going to include some body weight strengthening, balance, particularly proprioception, so we're more aware of where our body is in space, a lot of posture, and we're going to always focus on working on a good alignment to keep those joints healthy and the muscles strong. So let's get started standing. We're going to have our feet hip distance apart, okay, arms long, and we're going to inhale and rise up onto the ankles, and then exhale, lower the feet at the heels at the same time. Okay, so inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So in, rising up onto those toes, try not to scrunch them, and down, and one more. Inhale up and exhale down. Good. So take your head into your hands now. So we want the head to be pushing back into the hands so you can feel an opening across the chest already. Okay, again, feet hip bone distance apart, knees are slightly soft. We're going to inhale to prepare, and then as we exhale, we're going to lift the top elbow up and pull the bottom elbow down. So you should feel a nice stretch sort of all under your armpit area, and then we're going to lift up from the waist, other side. Inhale, exhale over and up. So this stretch should feel really nice. Making sure that head is staying back. And up, and one more to this side. And up. Great, let's warm those legs up. So I'm going to show you from the side. So we're going to do a squat back. We're going to lift the heels, come up onto the toes, and then drop the heels down. So more balance, but working on that strength as well. So let's do 8. So squat back into the chair, lift the heels, come up and drop. So if you find this is a bit tricky on the mat, come off the mat and just go onto the floor. Good. 3, 4, 5, keeping that back nice and long. 6, 7, whoop, falling over, and last one, 8, and down. Good. More balance. So for this one, just watch me once and then we'll do this one together. We're going to lift the knee to tabletop. I'll show you from the side. Knee to tabletop. Then we're going to go back into a backward lunge. Comes back up to tabletop. I'm going to sweep the leg around into a curtsy squat. Okay, so a bit of coordination too. So tabletop, lunge back to the front, sweep it round and curtsy. So let's do 6. Try and keep that foot off the mat if you can. Okay, so you should feel a lot of work in that supporting glute. Sweep it around and down. Good. 4 more. Take the arms where feels natural to you, but keep breathing. Good. Last 2. I can really start to feel it now in my supporting glute. Hope you can too. And last one. Lift up, lunge back, step forward, sweep around. Whew. Great job. Okay, let's move on to the other side. Knee to tabletop. long lunge back, making sure that front knee isn't going over the toe. One comes forward, and then we sweep it around. Good. 2. Supporting the hips is just so important to keep that pelvis in a nice alignment and the back nice and aligned. Back, sweep around. 2 more. I'm a bit more wobbly on this side. Back and around. And last one. Knee up, back, and curtsy. Great job. Okay, give those legs a bit of a shake out. And then let's come to the end of our mat for a roll down. Okay, so I say this quite a lot, but roll downs is just so nice for your spine to get that flexion. But if you can hang on to your pelvis when you're doing them, you'll get more movement to keep that pelvis high as long as possible. So we're going to inhale to prepare, exhale, nod the chin to the chest, hold on to that pelvis, get as much flexion as you can out of the spine. As you roll down, when it can't flex anymore, the pelvis tips over the femurs and you roll down. So we're not super warm. So if you need to bend your knees a little bit to the bottom, that's fine. And then inhale, and then exhale, use those abdominals to draw up. Shoulders around and down at the top. 1 more. Flex, 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 flex. And then tip, rolling down, inhale, and then exhale, up. Great. So on this one, we're going to roll down and we're going to walk out to a 4-point kneeling position. So inhale, exhale, nod the chin. And then walk it out to our 4-point kneeling. A little bit of an angle. Good. So we're going to do some protraction and retraction of the shoulders, just so we know we're in a nice alignment and just so you're aware of the movements. So we're going to just collapse into it, no Pilates form whatsoever, and then I want you to push through the arms, feel those shoulder blades coming around the rib cage at the back. The abs are pulling in, the spine is nice and long, the sit bones are wide at the back. Okay, and we're in a nice stable position. So we're now going to glide the shoulder blades around the rib cage as they come together, nothing in the neck. And then they come back as you push up. Okay, so glide them around. So it's so important to get that gliding motion. We don't want them to get stuck because then the tension will go into our neck or into our shoulders. Okay, so we really need that feeling of them gliding around and then gliding back. Good. So now I want you to take your left hand to your forehead. Okay, try not to tip all the weight over into the right hand side. Keep it even. We're going to inhale and then exhale, rotate around the spine and then face down. Okay, so we're just going to do 3 of these. Rotate. I always find these quite challenging, but it's such a good movement. Rotation is so important. Rotate and down, and then let's go to the other side. So right hand to the forehead, rotate around that thoracic, so around the rib cage area, facing down, 2, and last one, 3, and down. Right, let's go back to those hips. So making sure that our body is nice and stable, we have the weight evenly distributed, wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We're going to go into our fire hydrant exercise. So we keep the knee bent, take it out to the side and down. So we're going to do 6 of those. So for 6, try and keep that weight even. 5, 4, only go as high as your hip will allow. Remember, this is not a competition. This is working with your body, strengthening your body. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now, if you wish, okay, if this is, try it once. If it's too much, stick with the regular fire hydrant. We're going to lift the leg up, straighten the knee, bend, and in. So for 6 like that, 6. This is a lot of work. 5, 4, 3, keep breathing, keep pushing through those hands, 2, and 1. Right, same leg, take it up, straighten the leg. Again, making sure that weight is even. We're going to draw tiny circles with the leg as long as we can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the movement is coming from the glute and the hamstring. 3, 2, 1. Knees in, widen the knees, and just sit back into a rest pose, allowing your body to sink into those hips. And do some nice big deep breaths into the back of the rib cage. And with each breath, try and just let that body relax more into the hips. One more. And then let's come up and do the same thing on the other side. So I'll turn around so you can see. Okay, so getting into that nice position again, we're nice and stable. So we start off with the fire hydrant. So I have to make sure I do the right leg. So in and out for 6, 5, 4. Eye gazes to the end of the mat to keep your neck in a nice alignment. 2, 1. Now if you wish, we're going to lift up, extend, bend the knee, and drop it down. 5, 4. Try not to twist. I just caught myself twisting a bit there. So it's like pretty much a whole body exercise, keeping in this lovely alignment. 2 more. And last one. Now taking the knee up, straighten the leg, point the toe as long as you can, and then let's circle. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then back into that rest pose. Great job. Okay, if you want to stretch off the glute we've worked a bit more, just lean over to that, hands to one side and lean into the opposite hip. Just get a little stretch on the outside of that hip and down the side. Okay, and then just go to this side, lean into the left hip, arms come to the right. And come up, and then now we're going to go down onto our back. Okay, so holding on behind the thighs, rolling down. Okay, let's just take a minute to get settled on the mat, making sure our collarbone is nice and open. Our legs are coming straight out of the hip bones, and our pelvis is in a nice neutral position. So if we had a glass of water here, it would be balancing nice. It's not going to tip towards your rib cage, and it's not falling down towards your feet. Okay, we're just going to do 3 hip rolls, just to make sure that back is nice and warmed up. So we inhale to prepare, exhale, tip the pelvis towards the rib cage, and then we're pushing up through the glutes and hamstrings. And I want you to imagine that you've got a ball in between your inner thighs to make sure those inner thighs are nice and active as we're coming up. And then we're squeezing that ball as we come down to make sure, again, those inner thighs are working. So we don't want to roll out onto the feet as we're coming up. We want the weight to be nice and even through the feet. To make sure, again, we're working in a good alignment. And up again. So you're nice and long at the top. You're not sticking out those ribs. Ribs are low. It's the pelvis that's coming up, not the ribs. And rolling down. And last one. Tip and rolling up. And rolling down. Okay, so now I want you to lift the heels. Okay, making sure that those feet are quite close into your bottom. Arms are long. We're just going to now pick the pelvis up and tap down. We're going to do this for 10. So for 10, tap. 9. So again, making sure those ribs are down. It's the pelvis that's lifting. 7, 6, 5. Push through those arms. You can feel the triceps working. 3, 2, 1. And down. Right, let's move on to some abs. So I want you to be in a neutral position. If at any time neutral becomes too much for you, I want you to put your legs down, tip your pelvis towards the rib cage using the abdominals and go into a flatter back position. So we're going to take our right leg to tabletop, left leg to tabletop. We're just going to do some toe taps, but we're going to tap the toe away in a nice controlled way. So our abs are pulling down and back as we drop the leg. We don't want our abs to pooch out. As soon as you start doing that, you've lost the connection. So make the movement smaller. Again, if it's pulling on your lower back, make the movement smaller. 2. Good. 3. 4. Okay, if you do this in a controlled way, it is a whole lot of work for those lower abdominals. Good. Let's do 4 more. For 4. 3. Keep breathing. 2. And 1. Good. Quick hug in of the knees. And then our legs are going back to tabletop. And we're going to break down the double leg stretch exercise into a series of 3 exercises. So first one. Legs are in tabletop. I'm going to hold on behind the thighs. We're going to lift up into this chest lift position. Okay, so my head is supported in between the shoulder blades. We're just going to do the arm movement. So we take our hat on the head, spin the arms around and lift up a little bit further as your arms come long. So we do 6 like that. So for 6, 5, 4. If it's too much, drop the head. Just do the arms. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Quick bend in. Okay, legs go back to tabletop. Our arms are long. Our head is staying down now. We're just going to do the legs. So the legs come out on a diagonal and in. So only take the legs as low as your abs can support them. So what we don't want is to drop really low, and I can feel that in my lower back and I feel all tension, my abs pop out. So I can go to here and I'm in control. So for 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So let's put the whole thing together. Coming up into the chest lift position. Okay, and we do arms up, legs out, sweep it around. For 6. Keep lifting high. 4, 3, 2, and last one. And hug those knees in. Just rock from side to side and breathe. And for me, I'm looking at a beautiful, not a cloud in the sky today. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and then hold on behind the thighs, rolling up into a seated position. Okay, so we're going to go into a half rollback series. So we're going to start by breaking it down a little bit and making sure that we're getting that C curve in the spine. So I want you to sit up high on the sit bones. So use a bony part in your bum. You want to be high on there so we're not slouching. We're nice and tall. If that means you need to get a folded towel or a yoga brick, do that. It's more important to have a nice vertical spine. Okay, so we're going to inhale to prepare, and then exhale. We're going to draw those abdominals back towards the spine as we're creating a C shape. Okay, only go back as far as your abs will allow. So I don't want any gripping here in the hip flexors. If you go back further, like if I go to here, I can feel here gripping, which means it's gone out of my abs. I want this to be an ab exercise. We're going to stay in our C as we come up and over, and then lift to vertical. Okay, so again, rolling back. Abs are really drawing back. We're getting as much flexion as we can using those abs. Up and straighten. Good. Let's do 2 more with our hands here. So arms are going long as the body's going back. Up and over and extend. Last one. And back. Okay, so if you wish now, take the arms long. Okay, if you're really new to Pilates, keep holding on to the back of the thigh so you get that C shape perfected. Okay, so we're going to inhale, exhale, draw back, lift up and over the abdominals, and straighten. So 3 more. And lift up. Really feel those abs pulling back towards the mat. Up and over and down. Okay, let's progress this a little further now. So we're going to come back into a nice comfortable position. We're going to bring the knee in. No, hang on, let me just work this out. So we're going to come up and down. So let me try with the other leg. Knee in, body up, and then leg extends away, body down. For 8, 7, 6, try and stay in your C, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just come up, extend slightly. Make sure there's no tension. That's a tough one. And then let's go down and do the other side. So we come in, extend. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And up. Extend. God, I certainly felt that one. Right, final one in this series is our oblique roll back. So now our palms are facing the mat. We're going to slice down as we rotate and then lifting back up to vertical. So we're still doing that C shape as we go back. We're just working the obliques now. So we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Make sure we've got no tension in the neck or the shoulders. 1. And just butterfly the legs and round forward and breathe. And then we're going to stay seated. And we're going to do some seated arms. Okay, so get into a comfortable position. Again, if you need to sit on a towel or a yoga block, just to get lifted so it's comfortable for you. And then our arms are going to come long and we're going to circle forward for 10, 9, 8, 7. So keep the shoulders down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're going to do arms to a V and then they come down into like a W position as you bring the shoulder blades together at the back. So you're creating your own resistance. If you wish to do this with weights, by all means go ahead. Fortunately, my weights are inside, so I shall just do it without. Good. For 7. Really bring those shoulder blades together. 6, 5. Let's work those posture muscles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, arms are going to be slightly bent, and we're going to come up and over, up and under. So we're working the rotator cuff now. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Okay, just drop one ear towards the shoulder. Just making sure we haven't got any neck tension. And then lift it up, and then the other side. And up. Good. Coming onto our side now. So we're going to start with a little tricep. So we're going to come into this hip stack, knee stack position. Put one hand around the rib cage. The other hand is long, slightly in front. So you may need to have to adjust the position after you've had a try at this exercise. So we're just going to flex the elbow, bend the elbow, push up. So for 10, 9, right, so you start these and you think, oh, that's okay, that's not too hard. Yeah, you wait. By the time we've done 10, you'll feel it. 6, 5, 4, making sure you're letting the weight go over that arm. 3, no cheating. 2, and 1. Great job. Okay, so come now down onto the elbow. Now, when we go into an elbow resting position, it is so important that you understand the connection underneath the armpit onto the back. Okay, so we don't want to be slouching here like we're watching the TV. Okay, we're lifting up. Our shoulder is nice and stable on the back. We're in a supported position. We're in a good alignment. And we're just going to keep our knee stacked, feet stacked, and we're going to lift the leg up and the ankle stays in line with the knee and down. So for 8, 7, 6. Sometimes it helps to keep your hand on your hip just to make sure you're not rocking. Okay, everything else is nice and stable. I'm nice and lifted. 3, 2, 1. Now take the leg up and we're going to circle it forward. For 5, don't rock. The movement is just coming from the hip. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now reverse it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So now we're going to do a bit of internal, external rotation of the hip. So we do knee to knee, toe to toe. So again, don't rock back. So for 8, 7, 6, keep lifted through that shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Should be nice and warm around this hip now. So now we're going to go into a side plank. Options here are one leg straight and we just lift up with that bottom knee on the mat. This is a whole lot of work for that shoulder stability, for your obliques, for every part of your body as the hips lift. Okay, or we get straight legs and we're going to lift and just hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. And then just a quick counter stretch. Good job. Okay, before we go to the side, we're going to go on to some back extension. Okay, so coming down onto your tummy. Okay, so I want you to take your head to one side and your arms are going long, shoulders are rounded forward, so you're nice and relaxed, but our glutes and hamstrings are pulling down and our abs are lifting to support the lower back. We're going to come up into this, my Iron Man flying position as the shoulder blades come back, palms facing the hips as we extend the spine. And then we relax everything down, shoulders round forward, head goes to the side. Lifting up again. So when we're lifting up, Our gaze should only go to the end of the mat, okay? Keep that neck in a lovely alignment. Pull those shoulder blades together and rest down. Good. Lift. And down. Really pull those buttocks muscles back. And down. One more either side. Lifting up. Working those posture muscles. Down. And last one. And down. Okay, so this time we're going to hold it up. We're going to take the palms facing down to a T and then back to the hips. So for 6, 5, keep lifted. 4, keep that back supported. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and then when you come down, bring the hands to just in front of the shoulders. Okay, head is straight now. Our legs are long, heels are slightly in. We're going to inhale, lift up into a swan position, lift the legs. I'm going to swim the legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Again, lift up, legs up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. And last one. Lifting up, lift the legs and swim. 5, legs are long. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Then push up and just round over that imaginary ball for your shell stretch. Get some flexion after that extension. And then let's finish with the side series on the other side. Okay, so we start with that tricep. Knees are stacked, ankles are stacked, hips are stacked. Okay, so we dip down and up. I definitely find this side harder. 2, 3, and that's saying that after only 2 reps. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Coming onto that elbow. So we now know nice and stable. We're supported on the other side. Shoulder is nice. We're not scrunching the neck. We're not collapsing. And let's lift and lower. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now circles forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So now internal knee to knee, external toe to toe for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to end with that side plank in your position of choice. So lifting up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up, counter stretch. And let's do a nice mermaid to end a lovely time on the mat. Okay, so coming into this Z-sit position, try and get your hips as grounded as you can do. Arms are into the diagonal and we scoop around and then bring that arm across until you feel a stretch across the backs of the shoulder blades. Okay, so the abs are pulling back and breathe. Lifting up, drop the elbow, lift the arm up over the ear and the opposing hip goes down for that lovely side stretch. Good, lifting up. Now come and lean over this supporting knee until you feel a stretch on the outside of that hip. So take the arms long if you need. Just let your body relax into that hip stretch. Coming up. And let's go around to the other side. Okay, so on the diagonal, scooping around. Opening out, drop the elbow, lifting up as you push that hip down. Lifting up, and then let's get that stretch on the hips, which we've worked hard today. Coming up. And you are done. So I really hope you enjoyed that, and I hope by doing this routine a couple of times a week or fitting it in when you can, you're going to feel the benefit of training those muscles in a good alignment to support the joints. So thank you so much for joining me. If you like this workout, please subscribe to the channel and let your friends know about it. And I will see you back here on the mat very soon. Au revoir.